Election day for some of you is coming up fast. This week, we've gone in depth asking the candidates for mayor in Norfolk how they would lead the city.
Yeah, they've got big shoes to fill because current Mayor Paul Frame has held down the job for more than 2 decades now, and so has Sheriff Bob McCabe. He's led the department for the last 22 years, overseeing almost 500 employees and managing a $40 million budget. Sheriff McCabe is also proud his office is among one of the best places to work in Hampton Roads.
So first, Sheriff McCabe, thank you for making time to join us tonight.
Thank you all for having me.
Appreciate it.
All right, I want to dive right in. We've asked the same question to your opponents, but crime. It's been talked about all week. You held a press conference earlier this week. Well, how is your plan different from the others to combat this crime?
Well, it's unfortunately, crime is the #1 issue. I wish it was something else. I'm the only candidate that has the law enforcement experience, 30 plus. You know, my 2 opponents, good guys, but you know, one of them owns a funeral home, the other one's a criminal defense attorney. Between the police department and the sheriff's office, I have over 30 years. And so I've already been working very closely with the neighborhoods, the business community, and obviously the police department as well. So I feel like, you know, I'll be, you know, hitting the ground running if I'm elected to be able to work with with both the community and the police department. We have to attack the problem head on. I mean, it's become a crisis.
And how? Exactly. How?
Well, I think having the knowledge of the fact that we have 75 to 100 police positions that should be on the street that are not on the street right now, between vacancies, we have 35 or 40 that are in the police academy. We don't hire policemen until actually the police academy starts. I would be recommending hiring a policeman when we have the openings right away. And also, back in the early 90s, I was still on the police department, and we started the PACE program, which is the Police Assisted Community Enforcement, and getting policemen on walking beats, on bicycles, getting them out in the community, getting them to know the community. We've kind of gotten away from that. That's because of the lack of resources and not having enough policemen to be able to put out there. I don't know if you remember, 5, 6 years ago, ODU hired deputy sheriffs to come out there and help around Old Dominion because the police didn't have the resources to put over there. You know, a lot of things happen during elections year. So, you know, this past fall, the police department beefed up, code enforcement beefed up. They started addressing the ODU problems, and that's what we need to continue to do. But we just don't have to do it. We should do that 12 months out of the year.
Moving on now, you know, our area very interconnected, obviously with Norfolk being the center, but how would your priorities go out to this whole area in general, the whole region really?
Well, you know, I think with sequestration that happened a couple of years ago, that kind of got everybody's attention that we can't rely on federal dollars. And so I think with having new personalities on all of the city councils as we go forward, I think it's a good opportunity to be able to build those personal relationships and that trust. We already have, you know, SIPSA, the trash is a big issue. We already have cooperations with our fire departments and police departments because there's no lines drawn between the cities. And so I think continuing on that, obviously we have some big transportation issues that we have to tackle. And so I feel very positive about the possibility of all of us working better together in the future.
Now, talking about your opponents and you're all from Norfolk. You've all held jobs of various types within the city of Norfolk. What makes you different?
Well, I think the #1 issue, we can talk about economic development, we can talk about sea level rise, we can talk about all those things. But I'm going to tell you, when you wake up in the morning and you see another shooting, and you see where we're ranked up there with Houston and Chicago and New York, I mean, it's embarrassing. And right now, people don't feel safe in their neighborhoods. Drug dealers used to shoot each other. Now they're shooting grandmothers sitting on porches holding their grandchildren. They're shooting kids that are laying in their bed. And so I have the unique experience and the qualifications to be able to address that with my 30+ years of law enforcement experience.
Now, you've touted your endorsement by the police union. Other candidates have endorsements by others, obviously Kenny Alexander with Paul Frame. Do you think the police union is enough?
Well, endorsements are great, but I think when you're talking about the #1 problem facing Norfolk and its citizens, I kind of like having the Norfolk Police endorsement behind me.
All right, Sheriff Bob McCabe, thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Don't forget, Election Day, May 3rd. Head over to WAVY.com to see what's on your ballot, and you can find our interviews with Kenny Alexander and Andy Protegiero.